Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa, and today I'm coming to you with a writing experiment vlog. Yay! I will just preface this with a very brief update on how my writing has been going. It hasn't. I haven't really been writing for the last while. I haven't really been writing because in September I decided to do something with my book. I didn't really get anywhere in the traditional querying process, and so I decided that I'm leaning very, very heavily towards self-publishing now because I made this decision about my book that I want to add illustrations to it, even though it is like a YA/new adult book. I love drawing my characters, so I'm going to put illustrations in the book. And I don't feel like querying people and asking them like if that is okay with them, so I'm just gonna like do it myself. So I've been working on some of the drawings for that, but I do still want to like work on the sequels to the books, you know, to keep stuff going so that there's going to be more books. Because you know, once you have one book out, you gotta have the next book in. Anyway, so I haven't really been writing because I was working on some of the artwork. But I was kind of inspired by Tastic's vlog she's been doing lately of updating her drafting process. And she was talking about how she is like skipping around a little bit while she's writing, and that kind of made me think, not that I want to skip around when I'm writing in my own like book. I have to write chronologically even though I have an outline, just because for me, I make like subtle little changes while I'm writing chronologically that if I were to write out of order, like the transitions wouldn't work. Half of what I get stuck in when I have writer's block is like the transitions stuff. So writing out of order, it's not gonna work for me. I'm not gonna do it. But I like the idea of jumping around to keep yourself entertained, and I think that's something that I might need to do. So I started this experiment where I'm going to write, I think I've mentioned before that I'm writing 3 books right now. I'm writing 3 different book series right now, but when I say writing 3 books, I'm not like literally writing them at the same time during the same day. I like take a chunk of time and I'm working on one book, then another book, then another book. And like the 3rd book that I'm working on has kind of been like pushed to the back. I actually just looked at the document, and aside from recently when I've added to it a little bit, I haven't written that since 2016. So I'm like, wow, I didn't realize it had been that long since I abandoned that poor book, even though I'm like super excited about it. I feel like I'm talking too fast because I'm out of breath. Hold on. I decided that to keep myself going, I'm going to try and write all 3 books like at the same time. So what this means is I'm going to try and work on like 2 of my books per day, like every day. I could choose which of the 3 that I want to work on, but this way I'll like steadily make progress on each one. And I think it might help me from getting like my stuck in my head, which is a problem that I keep having where I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with this one like part of this one scene, and then I just ignore it and don't write anything for like 2 weeks because I'm like, I don't know how to like work on this one scene, and I don't know. I just don't want to switch books. I still want to work on that one book, but I haven't figured out that scene, so I can't write. Then I end up not writing for like 2 weeks, and it's kind of a problem. So this way I can be like, you're writing everything at once, so it's okay if you like stop writing this one part of this one scene and you move on to the next book. And then so far so good. So far the first day that I did this was Tuesday, so it's currently Thursday, October 18th. Yeah, on Tuesday is when I started this experiment, and I did really well. I wrote 2 parts of 2 different books, good chunks for me and my writing capabilities. I use speech recognition to write, so I can only do so much. You have to talk so loudly and so clearly when you're doing speech recognition that it takes a lot of energy, and so then I get tired and I start talking quieter and not enunciating as well, and then the speech software kind of gets really irritating to work with at that point when I'm not speaking as clearly. So I have to take breaks. So I can only write like so much in one sitting. So I did two writing sessions on the first day, and I wrote good chunks of 2 different books, and then the next day I did it again. So like I say, I have my first series, my second series, and my third series. So I've been working on my first series every day so far, and I've gotten good chunks done. I finally got through the scene that I've been stuck on for so long. So I've decided that I'm going to call my different series by different colors so that it makes more sense, because I'm sure it's very confusing. I'm going to use the colors of the notebooks or the folders that I currently use to organize them. So book 1 is what I call my first series, and so far I have finished the first book, though that's the one I'm adding illustrations to right now. And then I'm currently writing the second book, and I'm like nearly 80,000 words into the second book, and the second book is not even near done, so it's going to be a monster. And this series I'm going to call my purple series, because I associate purple with that book for reasons that are kind of explained in the book. But like, purple's like the color of the book. Purple's going to be the color of the text. Hopefully, purple or silver. Like, purple and silver are kind of like the colors for that book. I don't know why. I just feel that way. So that's going to be purple series. The second series is pink series, because that one I have written the first book. I think it's done. My mom is currently reading it to like go through it and make sure it's not a mess. Or that so far it makes sense story-wise. Yeah, so that one, the sequel is not very far along. It's only like, I want to say 7,000 words, maybe 10,000 now. I'm not really sure. Somewhere around there. Well, the third one, which I'm considering just telling you the name of the third one, because I came up with a temporary name for it that I really doubt is going to be the finished name. But right now we're going to call this the Green series, because the notebook that I used to write and organize things is green. So book 3 is Green series. That's also like, is that 4,000? I'm not really sure exactly how long that one is. It's not very long though. Tuesday I did good chunks of both my purple series and my green series, and then on Wednesday I did a good chunk of both my purple series and my pink series, which was really good because in that pink series I had gotten stuck for no good reason. And then today I just worked on purple series, because man, it's so much nicer to do like the colors, because one, it doesn't give anything away, it makes sense to me, and that way you can keep them straight, because you're probably like, what is she talking about? First book in her first series, second book in her second series, first book in her third series, like, it's nonsense. So I just worked on purple today. That was the only one I worked on. I did a good chunk of it. I wrote a whole scene, which is unusual for me to write like a full scene. I usually have been working on like partial scenes, because I've been working on really long scenes. That's where I am. I'm doing super well with the switching from book to book. I thought it would be more confusing. It's really not confusing at all, because I do take a break between it, and then like once I move to the next book, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the next book. There's a new outline, new set of characters. I know everybody. We're good. We're just jumping right in. So yesterday I was not feeling very good. I had a headache all day for some reason, and I did not do any writing. And I edited one of my reading week vlogs. So today I am hoping to work on at least one book. There's just one scene that I really want to get done, and I'm almost to my like word goal of the week. That is kind of a big word goal for me, because like I'm kind of behind on my writing goals, and so I wanted to like catch up, and so I gave myself a new weekly goal, and I've almost met it, not quite. If I don't meet it, it's not the end of the world, but I would really like to, especially since the last scene I wrote was like a direct lead-in to this current scene. So I'm going to try and work on that for a little bit, and we'll see how I do. I don't know if I'm going to be doing 2 different books today, just because I want to give my wrist a little bit of a break, since lately I have been doing like one section in speech recognition and another section in just regular typing. I don't want to do any typing today, so we'll see how I feel with the speech recognition and what I'm able to get done, and see if I end up working on more than one book or if I just work on one book. That is okay too. Okay, so I have written one scene today. I wrote an entire scene today. Don't always write entire scenes because a lot of times I'm working on a kind of long scene, and so I don't write the entire thing and I just kind of work on it for a couple days. But I wrote an entire scene today. I'm pretty happy. I surpassed my word count goal of the day. So that means I am now ahead timeline. I'm still not ahead of my writing goal entirely, but I am ahead of my writing goal for the week, so I'm gonna go with that and call it a win. I only worked on Purple Book today, or Purple Series, Purple Book, and I'm not gonna do any more writing since it's already like almost 6 o'clock at night and I'm gonna have dinner soon, and I'm just kind of tired because I spent like 2 hours writing that one scene because I kind of got stuck partway through and I had to do a little bit by hand, and then I went back to the speech recognition, and I wrote like almost the same amount of just the one book though that I had been writing with the two different series at one time. I do want to get back to reading today because I want to finish this today. I keep talking about this book, or maybe that was in another vlog. I don't know. I'm filming like 3 vlogs right now all at the same time because I want to, and so why not write 3 books at once? Why not film 3 vlogs at once? Like, why not just do everything? Try everything. That's actually what I named this project, was the Try Everything Project, because of the song from Zootopia. Try everything, you know. Such a cute song. Anyway, so I'm done for today. I'm very happy with my progress. If you can't tell, I'm also really hungry, so I can't wait for dinner. So hungry. I don't think this is going to be the end of the vlog. I forgot exactly what date I was ending my experiment, but yeah, I'll figure it out, and I'll get back to you on what I do tomorrow. Bye. So, it has actually been a minute and I completely forgot to wrap up this vlog. So, it's a couple weeks later now, I think. What ended up happening was, I ended up reaching 80,000 words and page 200 in my Word document of my Purple series, and that made me like really excited and super motivated to keep working on that series. So I ended up just focusing on my Purple series and writing like larger chunks, bigger scenes for that series. I think for like 3 days in a row I did like an entire scene of that book and like finishing off that week. So what I ended up learning from this writing 3 books at once experiment is it was actually a really good experiment because it was super fun, and I realized that my attention can be split between different books and it's completely fine. It does not in any way confuse me or like mess with the flow of any of the books. It's a really great way if I'm feeling like I need a break from one book, and it also did keep me motivated to keep writing because I was working on so many scenes at the same time. I never felt like super stuck, and I never felt like, oh, I can't write because I don't have this scene in place, because I would just move on to a different book. And that actually worked really, really well for me, even though I did end up focusing solely on one series. I think that I'm still going to keep doing this anytime that I feel the slightest bit stuck and the slightest like push to not write. I will say that I haven't really written for the past week, few days or so, just because I ended up doing some stuff and my hands ended up getting kind of sore because I got overexcited and typed way too much of my Purple book, and then I ended up needing a pretty long break. So that was kind of unfortunate. I also ended up doing some cleaning and stuff that also probably contributed to my needing a break. But that wasn't, I still really, really wanted to keep writing, which is different from when I feel stuck and I'm like, I don't want to write because like I don't have the scene completely planned out or figured out, and then I just don't write. I've like kind of been like, oh, I really want to write, but like my hand hurts, and oh, also my nose was kind of stuffed up. And my speech recognition really doesn't work when my allergies are bad because like my nose is stuffed up, so I can't pronounce words well enough for it to be like, it's a whole thing. Anyway, excuses, right? I will say, if you are stuck and you are stuck on one particular book, a really good way I could say to prevent writer's block is to just skip around and write a different book. Because if you're like me and you don't really want to write a different scene out of order because that just makes going back and revising really annoying, try like working on a different project, and it kind of keeps you excited and in the writing groove even though you're not working on the same thing. Did that make any sense? I'm not sure if this made sense. I'm not sure if this vlog makes sense. I hope you enjoyed it anyway though, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! I have to just stop talking because I'll just keep talking.